Hello and welcome to this gentle adult yoga class. Let's start by lying down on our mats. Take some slow, deep breaths. And feel your body melting into the mat. Exhale any tension out the back of your body. Feel the front of your body moving with the breath. If you like, put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Notice the breath rising and falling. And we want the belly hand to be moving more than the chest hand. Feeling that belly and then squeezing the air out. Breathing all the way up to the collarbones and then squeezing the belly, pressing all the air out. One more deep breath. And release your hands to your sides. And let's roll the head to one side. Just breathe into the stretch in your neck. Come back to center and roll the head the other way. And back to center. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Take a deep breath and stretch out from your left heel to your left fingertips. Exhale, soften into the floor. Inhale, reach out from your right heel to your right fingertips. And soften into the floor. Reach out from heels to fingertips. And let go. And this time we'll do opposites, left heel and right fingertips. And release. And right heel and left fingertips. And release. And keeping everything on the floor, walk your heels around to one side. Big side stretch. And come back to center and walk your heels around the other way. And back to center. Release your hands to your sides. Let's bring the feet mat width apart. You can put your arms in goddess position. And we'll windshield wiper the legs nice and slow. Feel the stretch in the front of your leg, in the inside of your thigh, and a little massage in your lower back. Let's point the knees towards the right. Let gravity pull the legs down. And if you want a little more intensity, pick up your right heel, place it on top of the outside of your left knee. Just let the weight of that leg increase the stretch. Breathe into it. Surrender your weight into the floor. Release. Bring the knees up to center and lower them towards the left. And just hang out here, letting gravity do the work. Or pick up your left foot, place your heel on the outside of your right leg, right knee, and let the gravity again and the weight deepen the stretch in your right leg. Deep, full breaths into the point of tension. And release. Bring the knees back up. Toe heel back to parallel. Bring your legs in and give yourself a nice big hug. And if you like, a little rock from side to side. And then we'll roll to one side and come to a seated position. Wriggle the buttocks flush away and sit up nice and tall. Let's roll those shoulders first. Up, back, and down. Lengthen up through the top of your head, through the middle, not through the chin. Back of the neck is long. Take a few slow breaths here, grounding as you exhale. Reaching up through the crown of your head as you inhale. Sending the breath down through your sitting bones on the exhale. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling all the way down. You can imagine that breath flowing up your spine and out the top of your head, and then down the crown, down through your spine and down into the earth. Drawing earth energy up through your tailbone, up your spine and out the top of your head, drawing cosmic energy down through the crown, down your spine, and down into the earth. And keeping that long spine, let's do some easy circling. And we'll circle the other way. And come to stillness. Lower the chin to the chest and roll the ear to one side. And lower the chin to the chest and roll the ear the other way. Come back to the first side. If you want a little more challenge, notice which way your head is facing. That's the arm that comes up and over, touching your ear. Relax this shoulder away from the ear. Breathe into the stretch. Inhale back up, ear the other way. Notice which way your head is facing. That's the arm that comes up and over, touching your ear. Gently encouraging the head to stretch, not forcing. Savoring your breath as it loosens you and opens you up. Inhale back up and look over your shoulder. And look over the shoulder the other way. And let your eyes look around behind you as far as they can go. And then blink them as they come back. And look over the other way. And blink them as they come back. One more. Back to center. This time we're going to look over our shoulder, but not twist all the way. Just look over the shoulder and then bow and look down at your armpit. And then roll the chin up and look up towards the sky. Back to neutral, inhale up. Take a breath. Let's look over the shoulder the other way. Just halfway, we don't have to go all the way to the back. And lower the chin towards the armpit. And then roll the head back, looking up. Back to neutral and inhale up. We're going to do one more. We're going to hook our fingers together. So we're pulling the hands apart and feel the arms and the shoulder blades getting involved. And then we're going to make circles with the chin. Sticking the chin out and bringing it back. Pay attention to how it feels. Making sure you only go as far as feels safe and good to you. We're stretching the chin around, pulling it in tight, pushing it out. Let's stop. Let's clasp the hands the other way and go the other way with the chin. The challenge to isolate the movement and not to move anything else. Keep those arms active. Leading with the chin. Take a breath and notice how you feel. We'll come back to our shoulders and arms, but let's get the spine in here a little bit with some cat and dog. One more. back to stillness. And if you like, switching which leg is in front. And let's press one hand forward and pull the fingers back. And point the fingers down and press the back of your hand. Inhale, point the fingers up, pull them back. Point the fingers down, press the back of your hand. Point the fingers up and pull the fingers back. And point the fingers down and press the back of your hand. And let's just do some circling. We're grasping the air. And circling back the other way. And let's just float this arm down. And compare the two arms. Let's press out through the heel of the hand, pull the fingers back. And point the back of the fingers down and press the back of the hand. Inhale the fingers up and pull them back. And press the back of the hand, fingers down. And fingers up and pull them back. And down. And let's circle the air. And circle back the other way. And then we'll just float that arm down. Press. And let's stretch the legs out. Sitting up in Dandasana. Squeeze and spread the toes. Point and flex. And circle the ankles. Circle the other way. And let's just bounce those legs up and down. Bring some energy into your legs. And feel the prana moving through them. Let's bring those legs in. Give a hug. You're going to hug the legs with both hands. Sorry, with your hand across both legs. Bring your hand to the floor. Inhale, spinal twist. And back to center, change sides, and spinal twist. Inhale back to center. You can do a second set like that, or bring your hand to the outside of the leg and reach back. It's a little more challenging. You don't have to do this variation if you don't feel like it. Back to center. Inhale tall, either hugging the legs with the hand on the floor or bringing your elbow to the outside of the legs and reaching back. And coming back to center, let's float the knees down to the floor. One leg in front of you, one leg at your side. I'm going to bring this arm up and we'll make some nice easy figure eights with the arm or infinity symbols. I much prefer infinity symbols. And your other hand is next to you on the floor. Going to swing that arm up and stretch up, big side stretch. Hold for a breath and then come on back down. Inhale, stretch up. Stretch from your knee to your fingertips. Inhale, stretch up. Stay for a breath. And down, we'll do one more. Inhale, stretch up. Stay here or send your leg out to the side, coming into a high lift variation. If you like, turn your palm to the ceiling, roll it from your shoulder, bring that arm around behind you, see if you can find your hip crease and spin your body to the ceiling. Unwind, come on back down. Bring that leg in and we'll butterfly the knees and compare the two sides of the body. And then we'll flip the knee over. So we've got one leg in front of us, one leg at our side. Supporting with this hand, we'll make some infinity symbols with this arm. Opening the shoulder, the wrist, the elbow a little bit. And then we'll take this arm grounding through the other hand and swing up. Stay for a breath. And exhale down. Inhale. And down. And inhale up. And down. And inhale up. And we'll stay this time. You can stay here or send your leg out. Adding to that side stretch. And if you want a little more challenge, rolling your palm up, rolling from the shoulder, bringing the back of your hand around behind you and see if you can find your hip crease. And release. Come on back down. Bring the soles of your feet together. And some easy butterfly. Let's come over onto our hands and knees. Do some table warm-ups, rounding through the palms, top of the feet. Let's dip the tailbone and lift the head and chest. And round over. Take all the time you need and stay in a pose and breathe into it. Or you can move one movement with one breath. It's your practice. And come back to center, and we'll make some nice, easy cat circles. And we'll go the other way. Come back to center. We're going to send the left leg out and cross it over. And then we're going to slide back in the direction that our toes are pointing, coming into a easy pigeon pose and rocking back and forth over your leg. Let's inhale our way back to table. And we'll send the right leg out and cross it over and slide back in the direction your toes are pointing and rock back and forth. Inhale back up and press back into child. Let's pick up the head, press into the right hand and pick up the elbow. Bring your left arm in, slide that arm through and look underneath. If you have a prop, you can rest your head on the prop. Inhale back to center, bring the other arm in, palm up, slide through, reaching with your hands, big stretch in both directions. And back to child. One more big stretch. And let's come into puppy dog. We're going to reach our hands forward and begin to lift our hips and continue sliding our hands forward till our hips are over our knees. And then reaching the chin and chest towards the floor. Keeping those elbows lifted and the hips pulling back. Nice, easy traction into your spine. You can do forehead if chin doesn't work. And walk yourself back into child. Let's reach the hands out one more time. We'll come to standing through downward facing dog, if that works for you. Coming into table, turning the toes over. Take a nice deep breath, lift the tailbone, slide the shoulder blades down your back. And if you can, lift your knees and hover, otherwise stay with your knees on the floor. And just do a little core work here for another breath or two. And then press your hips back, reach your heels towards the floor, and we'll press one heel down as we press the other heel forward. And then we'll change sides. Keep pressing into the base of your fingers, the base of your toes, pressing the thigh back, the chest towards the thighs. And then we'll walk ourselves to a forward fold at the middle of our mat. And just hang over. If you'd like to cross elbows and frame your head, and you can sway a little. Then bring your hands to your sacrum, lengthen your spine, press into your heels, and slowly come up. Coming into Tadasana. Close your eyes if that feels safe, or find something in front of you that's not moving to softly gaze at. Inhaling up through the soles of the feet, up through the tailbone and up through the spine, out through the top of your head, and inhaling down through the crown, down through your spine, down your legs, and exhaling out through the soles of the feet. Inhaling up through the feet, exhaling out through the top of the head. Inhaling down through the crown, down the spine, and exhaling down your legs and out your feet. A few more breaths, drawing up earth energy, sending it into the heavens, drawing down heavenly energy, sending it into the earth. You as a human being are the conduit between heaven and earth. And then bring your hands to your heart. And let's share that love with the world. Let's inhale and squeeze the shoulder blades. Deep breaths here, and then gather that love up and give yourself a hug. Remember which elbow was on top, big stretch. And big hug. And open, squeeze those shoulder blades back. And broaden the back, give yourself a hug, tuck your chin. And last one, big hug to yourself. And we're going to gently twist back and forth, giving ourselves a lovely hug. Slow it down and go a little further. And back to center. I like to make a soft fist with my hand that's underneath. That helps me remember which arm to bring on top. And then a nice, gentle hugging, twisting, nurturing. And release. Feel the prana moving through you. Let's continue connecting earth and sky by doing some sun salutes. So coming towards the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart. When you feel the cue, inhale. Reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, surrender over. Bring your hands to the floor and walk yourself back into a downward facing dog. 3 lovely deep breaths here. Inhale forward into a plank. You can put your knees on the floor if this is too much. Inhale back into downward facing dog for 3 more breaths. And walk yourself back through the front of your mat, surrender over. Inhale back up. And start. Let's step out to a 5-pointed star. Take a few breaths here, feeling yourself connecting to heaven, to earth, and to the whole world, reaching out from your heart to your fingertips, down through your legs and up through the top of your head. I'll turn the right toes 90 degrees, reaching out over that leg, and then rotating into Trikonasana. Now, once again, you can stay here or rotate from the shoulder, turn your palm away, slide the back of your hand around your body, and then see if you can grab your hip crease. So here's an advanced variation. Another variation you can do if that's too advanced is just bring your arm down over your head and just have a lovely side stretch here. Palm is down. Rib cage is still spinning towards the sky. Legs are pressing the mat apart. Strong engaged legs. Tailbone pointing down towards your back heel. Let's inhale back up. Turn the toes in. And let's go the other way. Front toes 90 degrees, back heel out a little bit. Inhale tall and reach over that leg. Rotate, windmilling yourself into Trikonasana. You can stay right here or rotate from the shoulder and bring the back of the hand around behind you, grabbing your hip crease. Or another variation you can try is rotating from the shoulder, bringing the palm down over your head. Spin your body towards the sky. Inhale back up. Turn the toes in and toe heel back to Tadasana. Notice how you feel. Bring the hands to the sacrum, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Begin to lift through the chest as you arc back. Inhale tall. Back to Tadasana. You can do a second set of that, or bring your hands behind you in Yoga Mudra, or cross your elbows. Squeezing the shoulder blades if you're in Yoga Mudra. Pulling the hands away from your body and lifting your heart. Inhale tall. You can either slide your hands down your legs or bend your knees slightly and come forward in Yoga Mudra. Pulling your arms as far away from your back as you can, and your shoulders as far away from your ears as you can. Let your head go. Lengthen the spine and come on up. Let your arms float up. And when they're ready, we're going to come into Vrikshasana tree pose. So let's shift our weight to the right. Rotate the knee out to the left. Bringing the toe on the floor and the heel against your ankle. Bring your hands to your heart, finding your drishti. You can stay in this easy variation or bring your leg up higher if you're feeling particularly challenged today and want to be in a more challenging position. You can grow your tree, and if you like, you can flower your branches. I'm going to go a little higher. You won't see me flowering so much. Yes. So you've got your toe on the floor, you've got your drishti, and if you want, see if you can come up onto the other toe just for a second, lifting the heel. And down, and shake that out, wash it out. And then come back to Tadasana. Weight is on the left leg. Right knee comes up, heel comes up, bring your heel against your ankle, knee out to the side. You can stay with your hands at your heart, Anjali Mudra. Or grow your tree and flower it. Finding your drishti with your toe on the floor. If you'd like a little more challenge, try to lift your other heel just for a breath. And down. And wash that out. And come down onto your mats, on your belly, for a few breaths in crocodile pose. You can turn your head the other way for a few breaths. And we'll roll over and come sit up for some forward folds. Starting in Dandasana. Bring the left heel in, the right toes are pointed up. Let's start by stretching up tall and coming forward with a straight back. And then reaching over the leg, letting that bend start at your hips and your lower back rather than starting by rolling your chest towards your leg. It's as if you're folding like a book. If you folded a book, it would go that way, right? Not that way. So it would go that way, not that way. So you're trying to fold like a book, nice and long and straight. Do the best that your body will allow. Take a deep breath in and draw your belly in. That will give you more support for a fold. And then scoop your belly towards your leg. Inhale back up. Lift the knee and stretch that leg out. Bring the other leg in and open the knee out to the side. Heel against your thigh. Toes are pointed up. Very gently come forward with a straight back. Keep stretching through the top of your head. Begin to come forward as much as possible with a straight spine, letting the whole back stretch, not just the upper back. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, draw your belly in and up. And then scoop your belly towards your leg. Inhale back up. Bring that knee up and stretch the leg out. And we'll close with a spinal twist. Let's pick up the left foot once again. And we can just stay with this nice, easy variation. Giving that leg a hug to help you sit up tall. Bring that arm across. The other arm comes behind you. You're stretching out through the front heel. And spinal twist. Inhale back to center, send that leg out. Inhale tall and bring the other leg in. You're going to bring that arm across and give the leg a hug. And then turn towards your bent leg with the other hand on the floor by your tailbone. Stretch out through your front heel. Inhale back around. Stretch that leg out and surrender over your legs. Inhale back up. Take a breath here. And get whatever you need for Shavasana. And come lie down. Feel the places where the body and the floor meet. Surrender your weight into the earth. Feel the earth supporting you as you exhale into its loving arms. Feel the movement of the breath in the front of your body. Feel the energy of the sky filling you with each breath. Stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. And gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Eventually bring your feet flat on the floor. Roll to one side. And come sit out. Namaste.